En hier is ons, fris en vars in 2020, 'n nuwe jaar en 'n nuwe dekade. Al stry sommige wiskundiges daaroor of dit inderdaad die begin van 'n nuwe dekade is. Daar is ook die wat glo dat vanjaar eintlik die einde van 'n dekade is. Wat dink jy, Jabulani?
Well, Unita, let me tell you something about the human race. Ne? Someone will always find something to disagree with you about. But let me tell you something again on top of that. Ne? I have decided that this new year, have you seen a rock, a big rock in a river? When the river is flowing, the rock stays stagnant. It doesn't move anywhere. I've decided to be like that rock. So whoever is going to disagree with me this year, it's fine. I'm not going to fight with them. Whoever is going to try and fight with me, I'm not going to fight with them. So I will not be bothered by anything this year. That is my goal for this year. I've changed.
Jy is so zen. Kom ons kyk hoe lank dit gaan hou. Maar op 'n ernstiger noot, ek dink dis 'n uitstekende filosofie. Ek het iets byna soortgelyks besluit. My uitkyk is: wees gelukkig met jouself en gun ander mense om gelukkig te wees.
To continue on a positive vibe, let us look at the uplifting story of the first edition of the Rustenburg Herald. We go straight to page 6 and we introduce our readers to Mr. Jacob Mutamba. This man decided that everybody is complaining about potholes here in Rustenburg, but nobody is doing anything about it, including the municipality. So he's a poor guy, he's from Pukeng, so he decided he's going to take maybe about 80 rands from his pocket, buy cement, and then start filling up the potholes here in Rustenburg. And a lot of motorists are appreciating that, so they give him a little bit of money, so he's actually making something out of nothing.
Dit is 'n regte storie wat mense hoop gee vir ons land. Jy kan wag vir politiek of sogenaamde leiers, of jy kan kies en self rondom jou 'n verskil maak.
Exactly. Another young man on the way to big things is Arno Venter. Now this lad scored an average of 91.5% in the matric examinations in 2019. Now this guy is very good. He was announced as the #1 arithmetic leader or learner. I'm saying leader because he led everyone here in the province. He has also claimed 3 overall provincial sport and he's got 7 distinctions. Can you imagine that?
Ja, nee. Ek wonder wie van die klein goed wat die week graad R toe gaan oor 13 jaar met sulke uitslae kan spog.
Well, on that note, Arno's full story is on page 3, along with a short article about the provincial result. Remember now, he's on the front page of this week's edition of the Rustenburg Herald with his parents. So it's just a picture and a caption. The full story is on page 3 of this week's edition of the Rustenburg Herald.
Dan ook op bladsy 3 is 'n minder goeie storie, die van die huisinbraak in Zinjawil.
Well, that housebreaking went horribly wrong for those invaders. What they did is they got into the house, they took stuff from the house, jewelry and money, and as they went out, community members noticed them. But these guys, they started firing shots at community members. They fired about 14 shots, but fortunately one of the community members had a firearm, a licensed firearm. So he shot at one of the criminals, wounded him, and he died. He's dead. So the full story is in this week's edition of the Rustenburg Herald.
Op bladsy 5 is 'n berig oor luukse voertuie wat in die slag gebly het toe 'n brand by 'n paneelknopper uitgebreek het.
And on page 6 we are reporting about a suspect arrested for kidnapping and murder in Chaneng. Chaneng is located a few kilometers, about 25 kilometers outside of Rustenburg as you go towards Sun City. And then also we have a robbery in Safari Gardens where a courageous pit bull named Hitler snatched a gun from one of the intruders. Well, Hitler got injured, but he was taken to the vet. Now he's in good condition. Expect to read an article, a beautiful article about Hitler in next week's edition of the Rustenburg Herald.
Op bladsy 7 kyk ons 'n bietjie na die reënval in Rustenburg en omstreke, sowel as die stand van damme in ons streek.
Also on page 7 we are looking at the problems at the Rivier local municipality and the negative impact it has on the whole community. Now you'll remember that Rivier is part of the towns that are part of Rivier. You have your Swatragens, you have your Koster. Now these guys have been struggling with water because the municipality doesn't have enough money to pay workers. It's just the same issue as the issue here in Bujarala district local municipality, which we hope was resolved.
Op die skole en sportblaaie spog die skole met hul prestasies in 2019 eindeksamen en ons kan kyk hoe die fikses onder ons sommer die jaar afgeskop het met 'n paak van run.
Well, on the back page we are getting more information about the start of the Super Rugby.
Dit is goeie nuus. 2 maande sonder regte rugby was uitmergelend. Die Sondag is die eerste Superhero Sunday vir 2020 met 4 spanne, die Bloubulle, die Lions, die Sharks en die Stormers wat met mekaar in Soweto gaan speel.
Excellent. Now, our cooking page, local celebrity chef Peter Hermes Hayes is teaching us about how to make a delectable lamb curry. So be sure to check that out and get the recipe there.
Ja, en op ons webwerf is daar 'n video wat wys waartoe Pieter in staat is. Kyk, as jy daardie video kyk, is jy op die plek honger en begeesterd om ook 'n skepping met jou eie geregte te maak. Alhoewel, in Januarie is daar ook maar net soveel maniere om eiers en toast aanloklik te laat lyk.
Haha, but fortunately our readers can still vote for their favorite matric photo and stand a chance to win R1,000. Then they can add a few things to that tomato and toast and eggs.
Ja, die stemreis lyk mos Sondag aand om middernag.
That is correct, Unita.
Nou Jabulani, so is ons aan die einde van ons eerste bulletin vir 2020. Van my Unita laat te gaan, groete vereers en baie dankie vir die saamkuier. Sien julle weer volgende week.
And from myself, Jabulani Sinyaso, thank you very much for tuning in. Happy New Year, and we hope that this year is going to be very productive for you. We will see you again next week, same time, same place.